Hey there everyone, welcome to Violet Stream Tarot. So this is quite an interesting reading. I don't think it's really anything like any kind of reading I've done before, but this is going to be, what is your future child going to be like? So obviously a lot of you will have multiple children in the future, so I'm not really looking for how many children you're going to have or whether it's going to be a boy or a girl, because, you know, this has got to reach a lot of different people, so it's likely that I'm just going to be talking about the personality and maybe what they might go on to do in life, the kind of things they might be interested in, etc. So we've got 3 piles here today, and I'm going to show you what's on the piles. I tried to put like child-centered toys on today. I have started using a lot of these little Tsum toys because I have so many of them, but I tried to choose ones that are quite child-centered. So on pile 1 we have one of the aliens from Toy Story. And on pile 2 we've got the peas, also from Toy Story. And on pile 3 we have Jiminy Cricket from Pinocchio. So whichever toy or pile is calling your name is going to be the pile for you. It's fine to choose more than one. I say to choose intuitively, so that means to go by whichever toy or pile of cards you're feeling really drawn to. It might be that you kind of get a tingling sensation or a burning sensation when you look at one of them. It might be that you just can't take your eyes off one of them, and that will be the pile for you. And it's fine to pause the video if you need more time, and as I said, choosing more than one pile is also okay. I will also say, if you would like to book a private reading with me, I have an Etsy page in the description box. I also offer angel healing sessions there. I want to say a big thank you to all of my patrons, including Alex, Alexandra, Kat, Ashley, Jeanette, Kelly, and Sander. Thank you so much for your support. Anyone who would like to support the channel in any way, there's lots of ways you can do that. Please don't feel pressured to do that. I only want you to do it if you really want to, and of course if you have the financial means to do so. But I have a Patreon page where we offer more content and you get to know me better. On there, all of the links are in the description. I have a PayPal link for tips and donations for YouTube videos, and I have a tarot wish list on Amazon. There's also some oracle decks on there, so if you'd like to get a new deck for the channel, please do consider checking that out. But as I said, it's completely optional. I don't want anyone to feel forced or pressured to do that. So when you're ready, I'm going to start with pile number 1. Hey there, if you chose pile number 1 with one of the aliens from Toy Story, then this is your reading. So we're going to take a look at the cards and see what your future child is going to be like. As I said, if you're going to have multiple children, I'm just looking at one child. I'm not seeing whether it's your oldest child or middle child or youngest child, or whether it is a boy or a girl or anything like that. I'm just looking at their personality because this is a general reading on YouTube, so it has to fit a lot of different people's situations. Also, if you're new to my channel, please do stick around and get your full reading, because we don't just do cards here, we do charms and dice as well, so make sure you stay for that. So let's see what we've got here. So we've got Death there, Scorpio energy. We've got Judgment as well, 2 major arcana cards, that's quite interesting. And the 10 of Pentacles. So Death, Judgment, and the 10 of Pentacles. Wow. Okay, so Scorpio is the only zodiac sign that's kind of popping out at me right now, but that may increase, there may be more as we go through, especially with the charms as well. Sometimes zodiac signs come out there. But what I'm seeing is someone who kind of goes through a change in their life. Like, I'm seeing them kind of being maybe quite shy and retiring when they're small, or maybe quite down on themselves a little bit when they're a child. You know, maybe they go through some difficult things at school, or they don't quite fit in, or they don't like the same things as a lot of the people in their school, and then they go through this kind of rebirth where they just become more confident. They feel like they've found their people, or they've found their style or their confidence, and suddenly they have so many friends, they have such a strong community around them. I feel like this is also a child that you really get a lot of support from. Like, this child seems to be kind of a bit of a rock in a way, like they're kind of stable, caring, giving, loving child. So that's what I'm seeing. I'm going to see what the rest of the cards say. Really interesting about those 2 major arcana cards. So your inner child card is the 9 of Swords, and as we can see here, there's this child who's kind of feels trapped in the swords with the dragon around him, and what the guidebook says is that the dragon could actually be a friend to this child. He's just not considered asking him, or he's not considered talking to him because he feels stuck in his situation. So I feel like this child is going to be someone who needs some encouragement to find their confidence, or, you know, the child that kind of is shy and holds on to their mother's hand, or kind of hides behind their parent when they go to school for the first time because they don't want to talk to new children, or they don't want to put themselves out there because they don't have a lot of confidence, or they're not loud and, you know, running around like a lot of children are. They're quite quiet and reserved. And that's what I see from this child. They seem to be quite a deep thinker. I would say they probably like reading and things like that as well. But the next card in this deck, the Ten of Swords, shows the dragon within a circle of swords, and the child is putting the last sword there to keep the dragon wrapped inside. So this child will overcome their shyness and their feelings of not being able to talk to people, or not being able to fully relax in social situations, or fully kind of let people into their inner world. They will overcome this. It's just when they're younger, they struggle to find that confidence. I feel like they talk in a little voice to adults, or they kind of struggle to make friends with children at first because they feel overwhelmed when children are very loud, or when children are not behaving well, or when they're running around, you know, causing havoc. I think this child is very well behaved and is just a little bit overwhelmed by noise and social situations at first. So then we have number 35, the white snake, understanding. So yes, this person's very understanding, and as you can see, there's a kind of dragon-like snake here as well. So that might be a symbol for you. You might find that this child is a fire sign, or that they're very drawn to dragons. That might be something that you're also very drawn to. But understanding, so someone who is compassionate, someone who's very kind and caring. They always want to hear if someone seems upset. They want to hear what's wrong. They want to know what they can do to help. They're that kind of child. And then you got two of these Wisdom of the Golden Path cards. You got wisdom. Okay, so wisdom, very wise. And inner conflict. Okay, so I feel like that is going back to the child who wants to have fun and who wants to make friends, but just struggles to put themselves out there in some way. So you're going to get told that this child seems wise beyond their years. Like, they say things to adults, either like a statement, like an observation of the situation, you know, like saying, oh, why do people always do something like that, when they're like 4 years old, and it's like, my goodness, how do you know this? Or they give advice in a way to adults, like, oh, you shouldn't do that because of this, and it just seems like they've lived here for so long. So I feel like this is an old soul, and that's probably why you got such heavy major arcana cards. But the inner conflict there is because I feel like this child often puts other people's feelings and opinions before their own, because they're a very kind and understanding person. So they don't want to do something that might upset someone else, or if they've been told and well to be well behaved, and they've been taught how to behave well, they kind of struggle to then be allowed to run around screaming in a park or at school in the playground. You know, they struggle to find the difference between, I have to be quiet and sit nicely in a restaurant or in the classroom, but then I'm allowed to run around and shriek in the playground. It doesn't make sense. Like, that's what I'm seeing from this child. Like, they struggle to really let themselves go a little bit. They struggle to they kind of don't fully relax at first in social situations, but I do see them overcoming that, because it seems, as I said, that they have this kind of awakening, I would say, in their teens, or for some of you it will be preteen, or a little bit later, but that's what I'm seeing. You also got two Akashic Tarot cards. So Two of Scrolls, two worlds. Wow, that's just like the inner conflict card. And number 22, add some. So you've got 2-2 and Two of Scrolls, two worlds. So 2-2, 2-2. Wow. And of course XX here as well with the Judgment. So that's like two X's as well. So some repeated stuff here. Okay, so I'm going to read a little bit from the guidebook for each of those cards, because I like how the guidebook explains those cards. But the Two Worlds card is about feeling conflicted between this world and the spiritual world, you know, wanting to have something more than just the physical. So it says here, surrounded by a spinning wheel and baskets of wool, a beautiful woman, worried and tired, gazes at the embers in the fireplace. She has worked hard at her spinning for the coins that are gathered on the table. The expansive window behind her looks out onto a Buddhist monastery high in the mountains. When you receive this card, there is a conflict in your life between what the outer world requires of you and how your own spirit directs you. You actually may have had a number of past lives where you wanted to focus on your spiritual growth and therefore joined a monastery to do so. And I do say that I think this child is going to be an old soul, so they're going to have had lots of past lives. Then, missing the wonders that the secular world could offer, such as love, family, and financial success, you chose the secular world exclusively in your next incarnation. But this didn't offer the spiritual focus you also sought. Because of this, it's likely that you bounced back and forth from the monastic to the personal in a number of incarnations and through a number of different faiths. You are now again experiencing a polarity between a fully self-realized spiritual experience and personal success in your day-to-day life. It often feels as if you have to let one go in order to embrace the other. This push and pull will continue until you learn to bring your spiritual self to every situation in your personal life. It's time to replace worry with trust and integrate your internal truth with your temporal reality. If you have a job or you are in a relationship that actively pulls you from your spirit, you must deal with it, or possibly leave it. Who you are forever is who you are now. Let nothing impede that power. When you own it, absolute self-realization in both worlds will elude you no longer. So this person definitely struggles between their philosophical mind and their connection to spirit, which they certainly seem to have quite strongly, and the material world. It's like they don't just want a regular job where they're working in an office, selling their soul to the corporate devil. They want to be able to help people or to have some kind of higher meaning, to do good in the world. But then at the same time, they recognize that unfortunately those jobs don't often pay a lot of money, and they want to be able to support themselves and not have to rely on the government or anyone else to give them money or food or anything like that. So they're kind of torn there. There's an inner conflict. And then number 22 adds some. It says, a candle casts light on an open book held by a young woman sitting at a desk. And I'm sure I said that I thought this person would enjoy reading, so that's crazy. Her eyes are drawn to the side as if she were distracted from her reading by a curious thought or someone nearby. She is surrounded by several people, many of whom are somewhat translucent and glowing. An angel bends and whispers, add some, I arrive, I am here, I attend you. Add some is a single word that has many, many meanings. First, it affirms your own strength and focus in the present. You can use it as a command word whenever you find yourself distracted from what's at hand. Say, add some, I am here, and feel yourself attend the situation or person before you. This word also declares your arrival at your goals and all your wishes coming true. Say, add some, I arrive, and take a moment to see yourself reaching your goals absolutely. Whenever you get this card, know that you're on your way to the results you seek with the help of others and the glorious help of Spirit. This card also reminds you to be assured that no matter what's happening in your life, Spirit is always there for you. They reach out to you, sharing their light and power and serving you in every way. From the least to the highest, from grandma to the divine, an eternal community attends you. Say, add some, and take some time to attend them too. You can act on your promise to God as Spirit lifts you upon their shoulders. You are present for each other, and together you arrive at your dreams. That's so, so beautiful. So this person definitely has a strong connection to passed over loved ones and to spirit, to angels, to God, all of these things. They really strongly feel it, whether they share that or not. This might be what causes them to be shy at first, because maybe they say as a child that they see things or they hear things and it makes other children think they're weird, and then they think, oh well, I shouldn't talk about it then, and that's where this inner conflict starts building up, because they feel so strongly drawn to spirit, but also they know that they have to make themselves fit into the present world. So what's really interesting is I'm wondering, did you choose the alien because this child will actually be a starseed and therefore struggles to fit in on this world sometimes? I think that's just so crazy. I'm getting goosebumps now just with all of the synchronicities happening in this pile. So then you have Freya, bold, unleash your adventurous side, take risks and be daring. And I think this is where we get to the awakening in this child's life, where they start to think, actually, I'm going to do something just to put myself out there. Like they summon up the courage and they do something like dyeing their hair or changing their style or joining some kind of adventurous club. Like, I don't know, I want to say like bungee jumping or motorcycle racing, but I think this is going to happen when they're too young to do things like that. So maybe they've always been quite a quiet, shy, reserved person, and then they suddenly decide, I'm going to join the hockey team. And it seems like so out of character for them, but it's almost like they just want to do something that will be scary, but that will force them to be confident and force them to put themselves out there. So that's where I'm seeing this kind of awakening going on. And then you have Lady Nada, heart awakening. Awaken to acceptance and divine love, give and receive in balance. So yeah, this person learns to kind of open up to other people's energies. I think for a long time they feel like they should just please themselves and they should just kind of stay away from people sometimes because people don't understand them, or people kind of can't give them what they need in terms of friendship and in terms of discussion. You know, I think this child will seem quite intelligent, so children their own age won't really understand them or won't have a lot to talk about with them. And this will change as they get older, because there will be all different levels of maturity and intelligence with the people that they get to know. But that's what I'm seeing is in the younger days, they feel like, well, I'll just play by myself, or I don't need lots of friends. I'm happy with just one or two that are really good friends, rather than being the most popular kid or anything like that. But then as time unfolds, I see them getting a lot of friends, and I see them being very popular, very kind, because people just realize this person is so honest and this person's loving and real and they're so interesting. And that's what I see them going through, this awakening of being able to accept love and compassion and give it in return. Then you also have two of these Wisdom of the Oracle cards. You've got Observer, number 49, and that's interesting because I'm sure I said earlier something about they make observations about a situation that just seems really, you know, really advanced for their age, or really something that a child wouldn't pick up on. And the Observer as well, I feel like this just refers to how they tend to be quieter when they're younger, or they tend to be on the sidelines a little bit. They don't like to join in games where you're running around, or they don't want to be part of the sports team or anything like that, and then things change for them. And we've got number 9, Treasure Island, which is really lovely. And again, I want to connect this to the phrase still waters run deep. Like, the quiet people have such a rich inner world and have so much to give that they might seem just like a regular island, but they've got so much buried treasure underneath them. And that's how I see this person. Then you have number 25, which is the Angel of Inner Awakening. So again, oh my god. Again, we've got the Awakening card, and you know, it's just like Judgment. It's just like this Heart Awakening card. There is this change that this person undergoes where they suddenly wake up one day and they're like, I'm going to be different, or I'm going to do this, and it's really out of character, but I'm going to give it a try. And that's what I see. And so this angel is tapping this person's head and is reawakening them. And so again, I feel like it comes from a nudge from spirit, like you have so much potential, go out and fulfill it. And again, you've got 2 X's there, so repeated symbolism, and 49 and 9, so 2 9s together. And then you have the dog. So this person's very loyal, very caring. If they have a friend, they will absolutely defend them no matter what. They're a very loving person. That's what I see from this person. So I'm going to do your charms and dice and see if we get any repeated messages or any extra information. So just as a disclaimer, if you don't like the sound of the charms, or if you're wearing headphones or you have the volume turned up really loud, probably best to turn it down now while I shuffle the charms. So group 1, what is your future child going to be like? Okay. So straight away I can see the love and relationships ball, the rose quartz ball. So again, this person's going to be very caring, very kind and compassionate. They might be born in the winter time because I've got the snowflake charm there. I'm just going to see if there are any other symbols of time. I'm not seeing it, but I do see the Aries charm there. So for some of you, this person is an Aries. So we're getting Aries, Scorpio and winter for the times this person might be born. Aries also means someone who's stubborn, but I don't really see that from this person. So I would say that they're more likely to have some Aries energy in them than to be stubborn. We've got the spider's web there, which is all about feeling stuck or trapped. And that's just like what that card is showing over there, feeling like they can't be themselves or feeling like they can't come out of this shy situation. There is a guardian angel watching over them. So as I said, there's a very strong connection to the angels, to spirit, to God, to all of this. There's an angel there watching over this person. We've got the letters I and D as initials. So that could be some of these person's initials. They could appear anywhere in their name. We've got the turtle there, which is a symbol of going slowly. This person doesn't rush themselves in their decisions. And they also, I just feel like they're not someone to rock the boat more generally. Like, they're quite a calm person and they just try to let things unfold as they need to. And there's also the snail there. So two symbols of moving slowly. You know, they don't rush. They don't force anyone to do anything. They equally don't force themselves to go more quickly than they need to in anything. And you have an extremely rare charm here. This has maybe come out, I want to say like 5 or 6 times since I've got it, and I've had it a very long time. And this is the symbol of passed over loved ones. And the word passed over loved ones, I think, did escape my lips earlier, and I didn't really give it much thought because I wouldn't normally say that. I would normally say they have a connection to the angels and their spirit guides and God, but passed over loved ones came out of my mouth as well. So they have a strong connection to their ancestors and to people that you have known in your life who were members of your family who have passed on, and that this child may not have got the chance to meet. But that's what I'm seeing. They may also be born around a special date in the family, like they might have been born on someone's birthday who has passed over, or on someone's wedding anniversary, or the date of someone's death, like around that time. Or they may be given a name in the family. So, you know, if your father was David, they might be given that name as their name, or their surname, not surname, their middle name, you know. Or if your mother was Lucy, you might call them Lucy, and it's like that connection there. There's also the cat in the ring. Now, this is a symbol of putting someone on a pedestal, and I don't feel like you spoil this child, so I don't think it's them being put on a pedestal. I think they often see other people as being better than them in some way, because other people manage to fit in better than them, or other people find social occasions just so easy and they really struggle to express themselves at first, or they struggle to feel comfortable when there's lots of people around them, because they have such a strong connection to spirit. And as I said, I think a lot of them are starseeds as well. We've got the dreams and intuition charm, so definitely some of these people, very strong intuition, and they might have very vivid dreams that they tell you about when they're a kid, and you think, my goodness, how are you able to come up with these kinds of things? We've got the haunted house there as well. I feel like this child is someone who often dwells on the past. Like, if they say something and they think that it might have hurt someone, they can't get it out of their head for days, and it like keeps them awake, and they think, oh my god, why would I do that? Why would I say something like that? Should I apologize? Or what if they've forgotten about it and that will be bringing it back up? You know, they rehash things in their mind where they think, oh my god, what should I do? What's the best course of action here? They're a really caring person, but I think sometimes it's detrimental to them because it just doesn't give them any peace in that sense. But I think this is also a cheeky little clue that, again, they're very connected to the spirit realm. The happy couple is nice as well. They will find a committed relationship. They will feel very settled and happy in the future. We've got the elephant there, which is another symbol of their intuition and their conscience being on point. They really listen to that. The fire extinguisher there as well. So that's about putting an end to a crisis or a very stressful situation. And I feel like this is just saying about them overcoming their shyness or their anxiety or their kind of meekness. They learn to be more confident. They learn to put themselves out there. And it changes their life. It completely turns their life around. And then the last charm we have is Pegasus. So Pegasus is a symbol of creativity and inspiration. Also divine rescue, divine intervention. So this person may have a creative side. They obviously have such a strong connection to the divine. But it's also a symbol of healing. When Pegasus's hoof hits the ground, it's said that a healing spring bursts up out of the ground in that spot. So healing here as well. This person might be able to say the right word at the right time, or just do the right thing that really brightens up someone's day when they're feeling down. And they may choose to go into a healing profession, like a doctor or a nurse or a therapist, counselor, things like that. So let's get your dice on top now. So if you're new, what I do is I roll the 6-sided dice to see which set of dice we roll, because I have quite a few. Okay, so that's number 2. So we're going to roll the original dice. They look like this. And then I roll a 10-sided dice to see how many of them we roll. also 2. So you've got 2 2s again. That is just crazy, you guys. That is so incredible. Oh my goodness. I don't know what to say. I'm lost for words here. So what can you tell us about Group 1's future child? Okay, so we've got the hand there, and that just makes me think of a helping hand. So there's someone who wants to help out if someone's feeling down. There's someone who also is very kind and giving. I feel like if something needs to be done, like say you're setting up for a party or something and there's loads of stuff that needs to be prepared, tables need to be set out, loads of food got ready and taken out, they just want to get involved in it. Like, they don't hang around, they just start making themselves useful, they start helping out. They're not like lazy or anything like that, they just want to help out and make things better. And then we've got the divine timing dice as well. I feel like, as I said, they often say the right thing at the right time or do the right thing at the right time, but I feel like it's also saying it's only a matter of time until they have that awakening, because it's something that they're meant to experience. So if you do end up feeling worried that your child is too shy or just keeps putting other people before themselves and doesn't speak up for themselves or really say what it is that they want and need, then just know that in time they will come out of their shell. They will really change their life around and become a lot more confident and popular and more comfortable in speaking about what they need and speaking about their opinions and what they think and all of that. So don't worry, essentially, if you're worried that your child is too shy. So I hope you enjoyed this Group 1. This is a really, really interesting reading. I wasn't expecting it to be so mind-blowing with so many synchronicities. It's really, really beautiful. I would love it if you would give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I'd also love it if you would comment below and let me know how it resonated with you. Some of you might have children already and this might be describing one of your current children, but I do try to reply to as many comments as I can. I love reading through them. If you would like to book a private reading or an angel healing session, I have an Etsy page in the description box below. Please give me your name, email address and question when you book a reading, and if your question involves someone else, I will need their name as well. If you would like to help out the channel in any way, thank you so much. I have a Patreon page where we offer exclusive content and you can get to know me a little bit better. I would love to see you over there. I also have a PayPal link for tips and donations, and I have a Amazon Tarot and Oracle deck wish list for people who are feeling really generous. I want to say thank you so much to everyone who has donated. It really makes my day whenever I see that notification, so thank you. You are so kind. It blows my mind that people want to support my channel in such a caring and loving way, so thank you for taking the time to do that, and thank you for being so generous. It is very much appreciated. Thank you again for sharing your time with me today. Have a lovely rest of your day, you guys, and I'll see you again soon. Bye bye. Take care. Hey there, if you chose group number 2 with the peas from Toy Story, then this is your reading. So let's take a look at the cards and see what one of your future children is going to be like. As I said, I'm only looking for personality here and maybe a little bit to kind of tell us what this child's later life will be when they start to be an adult. I'm not looking for whether they're a boy or a girl. I'm not looking for how many children you'll have or anything like that, because this is a general reading on YouTube. If you're new to my channel, please make sure you stick around, because we don't just do cards here, we do charms and dice as well, so make sure you get your full reading. So let's take a look at the cards first of all. So we have the 4 of Swords there, the Hierophant, and the Queen of Pentacles. Okay, so some very strong earth energy here is what I'm seeing. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, especially Taurus is coming out quite strongly here. This person seems to be quite calm, quite, I don't want to say reserved really, but just a calm person. I feel like maybe they will, as they get older, start to meditate or do yoga or think that mindfulness is very important. This person's very principled. They have a lot of strong beliefs that they really care about, and they will be prepared to defend those. They are probably quite an attractive person as well. I see them being quite physically beautiful. I see them being very good when it comes to money, like saving money, probably making money as well. They're quite good at coming up with ideas. They're very hardworking. They're not afraid of hard work and putting the effort in. Like, they're certainly not lazy or anything. I feel like they're quite self-motivated in many ways, and if they have a cause to support, they will go after it with all of their enthusiasm, all of their power, all of that. They're someone who really kind of plans for the future. Like, you know, the child who prefers to save their money rather than spending it all at once. They think, well, if I save, I can get something really nice rather than just spending it on sweets straight away. So they're someone who really thinks of their future and is really kind of has a lot of forethought in that sense. So we'll take a look at your other cards and see what they can tell us. So it seems like a very sensible person, like someone who's very down to earth, has their head on their shoulders, all of that kind of thing. So the Ace of Wands is what we've got here. We've got this beautiful butterfly, this feeling of transformation. This person's very creative. They really have a lot of passion and enthusiasm for the things that they're interested in. They really spend a lot of time working on those things. They find a lot of meaning in their interests and hobbies, and they really, really care about them. They probably talk about them quite a lot. That's what I'm seeing. I love the image of the fairies here and the butterfly. It just feels like someone who keeps growing and evolving. Like maybe they go through a lot of change in their lives, like they're completely different in their style to who they were 2 years ago or something like that. Like they constantly change what they're like, they constantly reinvent themselves, they just keep trying to be a better and better version of themselves, and they're really quite an inspiring person, I think, in that sense, because they just want to be the best possible version of themselves. Then we have number 12, the Frog Prince, intimacy. So this person is very easy to like they're someone who is quite easy to talk to. They're very sociable and friendly and personable, and even as a young child I feel like they make friends quite easily because they don't put a lot of pressure on themselves or on other children to be friends with them, so people just naturally want to talk to them, and they seem like a nice person, and they're very honest and sensible, like, you know, the honest child who tries to be fair in a situation rather than trying to be underhand or, you know, get the best possible outcome through lying or through manipulating others. They're just very honest and kind and fair to everyone as much as they can be. They're very reasonable. Then we have nature. Interesting, because we've got a lot of earthy cards here, and even though this is the Ace of Wands, so it's a fire sign, it's very natural. You know, there's caterpillars and there's butterflies and fairies and things, so, and the butterfly is kind of growing out of this plant, so it's a very natural looking symbol. So this person really, really loves nature. They love animals, they love plants. We've got a frog there. You did choose the peas as well, and this is so interesting because group 1, I felt that their child was likely to be a starseed and they chose an alien. I don't look at the cards before I start doing the reading because I want to just discover them at the same time as you. So you chose the peas, and this person loves nature, plants and animals, so that's really, really nice. Maybe I can't even speak. Environmentalism might be one of their passions, because they said they really get behind a cause. They're very principled. They might be like an eco warrior, very caring about our planet and wanting to recycle. Maybe in the future they want to work for an animal sanctuary or charity, or maybe they want to work in conservation or on a farm or anything that kind of helps the earth in some way, or gets them out in nature, gets them in the open air with the animals, with the plants, all of that kind of thing. So then we have 8 of Forces, the lightning bolt. Wow. Again, a very natural image. So this person is like a force of nature, essentially. This person, as I said, goes through a lot of change. The lightning bolt is like sudden change. They really reinvent themselves a lot. I don't feel like they're a very sentimental person in many ways. Like if they see something, say a t-shirt that they pull out of their wardrobe and they've almost forgotten they owned it, and they think, oh, I used to really, really love wearing that, they would have that nice feeling of, I really had a lot of nice times wearing this, but then they wouldn't worry about throwing it out or regifting it or recycling it or anything like that. They wouldn't really mind about that. They're not very sentimental, they just are more practical, is what I feel. So they often change the way they look. I feel they often get lots of new ideas or new passions. They go through a lot of change in life from within, not from on the outside. They go through change from within. Wow. So we've got Cordelia, go outside. You have been indoors too long. Go outside and get some fresh air. So they love being in nature. They love walking and hiking and running around, spending time in nature. They love picnics and camping and all things like that. They just really love it. And again, I feel like environmentalism is coming out as some kind of passion of theirs, or certainly looking after animals, or maybe they want to have a really nice garden when they're older. They want to be a gardener or work with plants, be a botanist, all of that kind of thing. They really just love natural things. I feel like there's someone also who tries to stay away from chemical products, like they prefer natural things. They might also be a vegetarian or a vegan. And I don't believe it, you guys. How much synchronicity have we gotten in this reading? It's crazy. Gaia, the earth herself, earth connection. Be mindful of the planet, come back to earth and stay grounded. I mean, what more can I say? This person loves this planet. They want to save the earth. They're here to give this message that the earth needs to be protected and saved, and they really care about life. They have a lot of respect even for all living creatures. I think they're the kind of child that would like cry themselves to sleep if you killed a spider or something, because they would just find it so horrifying. That's the kind of child this is. So you got 2 Wisdom of the Oracle cards. You got number 11, by the book. So this child might like reading, but I also think that they're a very well-behaved child. Like, by the book, they just do things as they're meant to, as they're told. They're not very disruptive. They just are quite a gentle soul, really. And time for a nap, number 24. So if I put them both together, by the book and time for a nap, they probably just go to bed when they're told. They don't make a fuss about that very much. They like to be read a bedtime story. They know their limits as well, is what I'm seeing. I got that from the 4 of Swords. They know their limits. So when they feel overwhelmed, or when they think a relationship is too draining for them, or if they think that a job is too demanding for them, they will have no qualms about just walking away and saying, I can't do this. And I feel like people respect them for that a lot, because this person will not stay in a situation where they feel drained or where they feel taken advantage of. They know their emotional and mental and physical limits. Then you have number 31, the Angel of the Apocalypse. So again, it seems like this has a connection to environmentalism. Like, this person has been put on this earth to spread the message of, we need to save the planet, we need to do something now, like this cannot be ignored. That's what I'm seeing here. This person really having these strong morals for a reason, because they are part of their life mission, they're part of their divine life purpose. And you guys actually got 3 Mystical Lenormand cards. So you got Ritter, the Knight, first of all. So again, very similar to this image of the Angel of the Apocalypse. You've got the Lilies, Lilian, number 30, that's number 1. And 31. And then you've got number 1 and number 30, that's crazy. So repeated numbers here as well. And then you've got number 17, Störche, the Storks. So we have Aries here on the Storks, but I feel like a lot of them are earth signs, but some of them may be fire signs as well. So they may enjoy horse riding. As you can see here as well, this person is tending to flowers, so this real strong connection to nature coming through. I feel like they probably enjoy sports, partly because they enjoy being outside, but they're definitely here to spread this message, to spread the news that the earth cannot be ignored, the earth cannot be left to die in the way that it's doing. They really care about home and family. I feel like their home is their sanctuary, and it's probably very tidy as well. They probably have quite a minimalistic nature, because they choose things that are important to them, and other things, as I said, they're not sentimental. They try to recycle as much as they can. If they don't like something, they will give it away, or they will donate it to a charity, or if it really can't be saved, they will just throw it out. That's the kind of person they are. So their home is tidy. When they're older, they have a lot of respect for their environment, not just the world in the terms of their environment, but the place that they live in as well. They probably will have a really lovely garden as well, and pets. And then we have the Storks, which is all about change and new beginnings. So that's what this person brings. They're here to bring about change in the world, and they won't stop until they've achieved that. So I'm going to put your charms and dice on top now, you guys, and see if we get any repeated messages or any extra messages. Just my quick disclaimer, if you do not like the sound of the charms, or if you are wearing headphones, or if you have the volume turned up really loud, probably best to turn it down just while I shuffle. So group 2, what will your future child be like? Okay. So I noticed that some of these went down here. Okay, so we've got some initials. First of all, we've got the letter D. and the letter A. I feel like there was another one that I saw. Maybe not. Okay, so D and A, so that may be part of their name. It may be, you know, their initial or in the name that you give them. We've got the good news here. Good news is on its way. This person wants to spread good news. They want people to be happy. They don't want people to feel scared because of climate change. They want people to see it as their duty to kind of help the earth. They want to make people happy. They want to inspire people and motivate people. We've got 1, 2, 3 flowers. So again, the connection to nature, but also this person's very physically beautiful. As I said before, they're very attractive. There's something about them as well that's just very magnetic. We've got the feminine, so for a lot of you this will be a female child, but I have seen lots of masculine indicators as well, so I don't think that that's indicative. I think that they're both shown here. We've got optimistic, which is the Sagittarius charm. So as I said, fire signs potentially, but also earth signs is coming across very strongly. We've got the luck charm, but that was on its side. So I feel like this person doesn't want to leave anything to chance. They're not particularly a believer in good or bad luck. They think that you make your own luck and that you kind of are responsible for what happens to you. You're responsible for your own actions, all of these things. We've got the snail there. Again, I just feel like this person knows their limits. Like, I think of slowing down when I get the snail, but this person seems to have a lot of energy and a lot of enthusiasm. So I feel like they just give it their all every day. And then when it comes to bedtime, they're just completely flat and they just sleep straight away. That's what I get from their energy. The fortress as well, that's also about knowing your limits. They know when they need to not be around people and when they just need to be by themselves or to go and take a walk to clear their head, or when they just need to be alone for some time. So again, having boundaries which people respect. We've got the starfish there, a symbol of healing. This person may work in a healing profession such as a doctor, nurse, vet, as I said earlier. But I feel like it's just connected to the environment a lot as well. They just want to make the world a better place and a safer, healthier place. We've got the haunted house there. That's all about not being able to get a certain idea or a certain situation out of your mind. It just kind of torments you. So, as I said, I feel like they get very passionate about a certain hobby. They're the kind of kid that if they get into something, say like Pokemon, for example, they just never stop talking about it and they know everything there is to know about it because they just get so interested and they have so much enthusiasm. We've got the gauntlet there. They're not afraid to challenge people. That's what you throw down when you want to challenge someone to a duel. So even as a child, if they think that an adult is wrong, or if they're lying, or if they're not saying something logically, they will challenge them. And this could be like quite shocking sometimes, or it might seem quite confrontational. It might seem that they're being naughty, but they're not. They just don't want double standards. Like, they think, well, if we're not supposed to lie as children, then adults shouldn't either. Or, you know, that's not something you should believe in, or that's not something that you should advocate. Like, they're not afraid to challenge people if they think that they're wrong, or if they think that they're harmful in some way. We've got the hockey sticks there, which is all about teamwork, team sports. They, as I said, are very sociable, very friendly, but I think it's another indicator that they like to play sports that take place outdoors. We've got Om, the mantra charm, so I feel like they're quite spiritual in their own way. They probably do yoga, or they meditate, or they have some kind of connection to spirituality. I feel like a lot of them have quite a hippie mindset. That seems to be what I'm getting from this person, kind of hippie style, hippie mindset. So probably yoga, meditation is just second nature to them. They probably also, as I said, stay away from harsh chemicals, stay away from GM food. They just try to eat naturally. I think a lot of them are vegans, vegetarians, all that kind of thing. Maybe a lot of them don't drink alcohol either. They're quite clean body, clean mind focus. We've got the content cat there, the cat that's got the cream. So this person's very content with their life. They don't complain a lot. They don't kind of want for a lot of things. They're not the child that has a tantrum in the shop because they want that toy. Like, they're someone who's just very content with what they have, and they're grateful if someone gives them something. But then at the same time, if they don't want it or they don't need it, then they will just not be bothered about throwing it away. They're quite minimalistic, as I said before. They don't really put much store in possessions. They think that there are more important things than physical possessions. We've got the shark there. Now, the shark is all about fear. So I find this interesting. So it's landed on the Queen of Pentacles and she's holding this big pentacle. So I wonder if this person is afraid of not being able to support themselves financially. I know that I said that they're not worried about having lots of things, but I think that they don't want to be on welfare or have anyone need to give them money or need to provide for them. I think they want to be quite independent in that way. So they are worried that their job, if they are a bit of a hippie and they want to do things that are more alternative, they are worried that it won't pay them enough to help them be independent and kind of financially stable. So that's one of their biggest fears or their biggest worries, is needing to be dependent on other people, because they think it's important to take responsibility for yourself. They're a very sensible and, as I said, responsible person. And lastly, we've got the gear on the Hierophant card. So whenever I get the gear, I think of something that's already happening. So this may resonate with you as your personality or some of your beliefs as well. You may be a vegetarian or a vegan. You may be an environmentalist yourself, or you may, work with animals or something like that already, and that kind of rubs off on your child. But I feel like it's just saying they kind of seem to be born with these very strong beliefs and these very strong ideas. Like, it's something that starts from day one and you don't really know where it's come from or what has happened to influence them in this way. It's just their mission, their purpose, and so they're just aware of it from day one. They've been sent on this earth to be a light worker and to be a warrior for the earth. So they really are just convinced of this from day one, and they don't care who disagrees with them or anything like that. They're just going to go after it and spread this message. So I'm going to put your dice on top now, group 2. So I roll the 6-sided dice first to see which set we use. Okay, number 6, so that is the Voyager's dice. These ones. And then I roll a 10-sided dice to see how many of them we use. Okay, it's 0. So if it's a 0 or a 1, then I roll again. All 9. Wow. Okay. So, group 2, what will your future child be like? Okay. Okay, so I'm just was looking at what we've got here. So we've got the ray gun or the laser gun. Again, I feel like they're very direct, and I feel like they just want to rid this planet of negativity, of bad influences. I feel like they can get quite heated sometimes when they talk about it, because it really frustrates them when people are harmful to the earth or to other people. It really frustrates them when people just won't see any kind of reason or any kind of side of their argument. And so sometimes they feel like, am I really meant to be here? Am I really, part of this human race? Because I just feel like they're so different to me. We've got Gulliver from Gulliver's Travels here in the land of Lilliput feeling like he is a complete freak because he's so much bigger than these people. And again, I feel like this person just seems to be so, not alien because they have such a connection to the earth, but they just feel so different to everyone else, and they feel sometimes like people don't understand them and all of this, and how can I get my point across? They're a very balanced person. We've got there the night and day, the black and the white. They're a very balanced and calm person most of the time, but if it's about their principles, things can get quite heated. We've got the chalice there, the Holy Grail. That makes me think of watery energy, the cups as well, but the Holy Grail as well. These ideals, these perfect images in their mind, the thing that they're searching for, the thing that they want to bring about on the earth. They have this really strong conviction. And we've got the rain there as well. I feel like they love the outdoors, rain or shine. Like, no matter what is happening, they just love the experience. They love all the bad things like the lightning and the rain and the storms, and they love all the good things like the sunshine and all of that. They just love everything. We've got the crow there. Now that's a symbol of the Morrigan, who is a Celtic goddess. So you might want to look up the Morrigan and see if you feel connected to her, because this may be a patron deity for this child. But again, of course, it's a natural symbol. It's a crow. They might really be into birds. They might really like birds. And we've got the magic beans as well. So, of course, These are the beans that grow into the giant beanstalk in Jack and the Beanstalk. They may actually be quite a tall person, because that's two kind of symbols of huge things growing, but I feel again they have green fingers. They're like a gardener, or they're really, really good at making plants grow, at growing vegetables, all of these things. We say that they have green fingers, or that they're a green thumb. In Britain, I don't know how it is in other countries. There might be a similar term for it, but that's what we say. They have green fingers, or they have a green thumb. And then we've got the cauldron there as well, which just makes me think of a few different things. Firstly, I think of things bubbling away underneath the surface, and then it comes to the boil, very similar to my kettle charm. Like, they seem really calm, and then something can just make them turn and boil over. Like, if someone goes against their principles, they just flare up, and they just have to tell them you're wrong, or no, why would you do that, kind of thing. But I also feel like a connection to magic there, and a connection to cooking as well. This person might really like cooking, or might be really talented when it comes to cooking or baking. So that's what I'm seeing. I hope you enjoyed this, group 2. It seems like a really, really interesting child that you've got here. Someone who's very passionate and really is not afraid to stand up for what they believe in. And I can't believe how many synchronicities we've got in the cards here. It's just incredible. So thank you so much for joining me today. I would love it if you would give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I'd also love it if you would comment below and let me know how it resonated with you. I really do read all the comments. I try to reply to as many as I can, and I just love hearing about how you enjoyed the video, or how it resonated with you, and all of these things. So I would love it if you would leave a comment below. If you'd like to book a private reading or an angel healing session with me, then I have an Etsy page linked in the description. And if you would like to help out the channel in any way, I have a Patreon page, as I said before. I'd love to see you over there. We offer exclusive content over there, and it's just a way to get to know me better. I also have a PayPal link for tips and donations, and an Amazon wishlist for tarot and oracle decks. And I just want to say a big, big thank you to everyone who has donated. You are so generous and kind, and it really does make my day when I get that little notification that says that someone has donated or someone's joined me on Patreon. It's just incredible. So thank you so much to all of you lovely, kind, generous people for doing that. It really does make my day. And thank you again for sharing your time with me today. Have a lovely rest of your day, you guys, and I'll see you again soon. Bye bye. Take care. Hey there, everyone. If you chose pile 3 with Jiminy Cricket, then this is your reading. So we're going to take a look at the cards and see what your future child will be like. And if you're new to the channel, please stick around, because we don't just do cards here, we do charms and dice as well. So make sure you get your full reading. Also, I just want to remind you that this isn't to see how many children you'll have, or whether they're going to be a boy or a girl, or anything like that. I'm just looking for their personality, and also it should tell us a little bit about what they might do when they're older, because the previous 2 piles seem to be pointing to that as well, which is quite interesting. So let's take a look at the cards. So we've got the 4 of Pentacles here, 10 of Wands, and Strength. Okay, so Leo is the only sign that's jumping out at me straight away, but that could change as we go through the cards, and some of the charms also have zodiac signs on them. So what I'm seeing with this child is that they sometimes struggle to open up and kind of talk about what they're really feeling and thinking about. I feel like it's more about their feelings that they struggle to talk about, because I think they're quite an interesting person. I think they have quite a deep inner world, so they probably do talk about their thoughts sometimes, like kind of creative energy there, but their feelings is something they struggle to be open about. And I think when they're younger, when they're very young, like, they might struggle to share sometimes. Like, they might be one of those children that doesn't want to share their toys, or that really struggles to give something away. You know, if you ever donate something, they struggle to let go of it. And that's what I'm seeing here. This person's very hardworking, and they will just go through something without complaining, without even telling you that they're going through it. They're this very resilient person who believes in being independent and being responsible for themselves. And so if they are going through a tough time, they tend not to talk about it. They just try to muscle through it until they physically can't do anything about it anymore, and the truth comes out, basically. They just go through the tough time without asking for help, or without telling people that they're struggling or that they're suffering in some way. But they are a very kind and giving person as they get older. They always have this kindness to them. They always want to be there to cheer someone up, or to kind of make someone smile, even when they're very young. But I think as they get older, they become very generous and very giving and very loving. very compassionate person. They really care about others. They're a very, very strong person, that's for sure. This kind of lion spirit, essentially, very brave, very courageous person. Like, they're not a coward in any way. They have a lot of bravery. They're someone who I feel, if they saw like a house on fire, and or they were in the house and they managed to get out, if they heard someone was inside, they would just like go back in without a second thought. Like, they're that kind of fearless, brave person, even in the face of real danger or the face of something that scares them. They just try to push through it. So let's see what else we've got here in terms of cards. So we've got number 19, the Yellow Brick Road from the Wizard of Oz, and that is the Sun card here. So this person has a lot of fire energy to them. They're very sunny, happy. They might be a bit boisterous when they're younger, but I feel like they have a very good sense of humor, and that's where it comes from. They want to make people laugh. They want to see people smiling. They like to feel that they and their presence are making someone happy and making someone have a better experience of the day and in their life. They like to brighten up other people's lives, and I feel like you might sometimes refer to this child as sunshine or sunny, or being like they light up your life, they're the light of your life or something like that. That's kind of how they're coming across here. We've got number 37, the Children of Leah, voice. Okay, so voice, they're a very creative person. They have a lot to say. I feel like some of them will become poets or writers, artists in some way. They need to express themselves somehow. So even if they're not comfortable with talking about their feelings one-to-one, they can express it through their drawings or through their writing, their stories, their poetry. That's how they choose to express it, in a way that's less direct and more creative. They have a lot to share, a lot to tell. They probably really like folk tales and fairy tales and all things like that. They love telling stories and jokes and things. They love to share that kind of communication with people. And then you guys got 3 Wisdom of the Golden Path cards. I was only looking for 1, but you got 3, so this is quite incredible. So you got the beautiful Wings of Light card, Jade Mountain, and Compassion. Okay, so as I said before, this person, very caring and giving and compassionate. I feel like this person is physically quite attractive as well. I don't know where I'm getting this from, but I think it's partly because the Compassion card is about realizing your true beauty and being kind to yourself as well as to others. So I feel like this person is very physically attractive, but it's not something that they either care about or notice very often. Like, they just are very beautiful and very attractive because they have such a lovely energy and a lovely aura, so people are drawn to them even more than they would be just from their looks. But I feel like this person either doesn't see it very often or doesn't really give much thought to it. That's what I see from this person. They seem to have a very strong connection to the angelic realm, and I would say to spirit in general as well. They seem to have a mission in this lifetime, and it almost seems like they're a bit of a storyteller or a light worker for some reason. We've got the wings of the angel there, and also here there are swans in the Children of Leah. So this energy of like the white wings, this strong, comforting, protective presence that this person brings with them. The Wings of Light is also about healing, so I feel like sometimes this person feels misunderstood or even lonely sometimes, and when they feel low like that, the angelic presence around them and their connection to spirit really lifts them up and brings them out of that difficult situation. And Jade Mountain is also about being accomplished, someone who has overcome a lot, or someone who has achieved a lot in life and has a lot to be proud of and a lot to celebrate, but they don't really think of it in that way. And so it's saying, just stop and look at what you've done in life. Just stop and see all of the amazing things you've achieved and all of the challenges you've overcome, or the incredible things that you've been through, and you're so strong and resilient and you're so well accomplished and all of this thing. You should be so proud. But this person doesn't really think of it that way. They just think of themselves as, well, I always want to do my best. I feel like this is really strange that I'm getting this direct channeled message here, because I don't normally do this when I do readings, but I feel as though this person's biggest fear is to die and think that they didn't always give their all. Like, they would hate to look back and think that they didn't give their 100%, or that they didn't do their best. And I find it so interesting because weirdly, each of the toys that I put on each pile seem to really resonate with the cards that I pulled. I don't look at the cards before I do the reading, so this is really crazy, but Pile 1 chose the alien, and that child seemed to be a starseed, like someone who doesn't seem to fit in all of the time and only later learns how to be popular and how to be sociable and all of that. Pile 2 chose the peas, and that child turned out to be an environmentalist with really strong connections to nature. And you guys chose Jiminy Cricket, and Jiminy Cricket is the representation of Pinocchio's conscience. So he is the conscience, he is the connection to spirit, and he is the principled person who just does his best all the time and is just wants to give his all and all of that. So I think it's just incredible that these seem to match up so amazingly well. So then you have the Queen of Roses. So I'm going to read from the guidebook for this deck because I haven't actually pulled this card very often. I think I pulled it once and it was a while ago. So let's see what it says. It's quite a new deck for me. So the Queen of Roses, what a beautiful card. It says, this card shows a beautiful woman with roses in her hair and all around her. A beautiful scene expands outside, but she is peacefully focusing on the flower in her hand. So again, the beautiful, as I said, this person's very beautiful. The Queen of Roses signifies a woman who is loving and supportive, but with a passionate side as well. This is a card of a loving connection. A relationship with someone you know may deepen and become more meaningful, or someone new may appear. Be open to the connection. It may be a romantic one, or it might be that a friend, family member, or co-worker is going to be helpful and valuable to you in some way. The Queen of Roses can represent you or a woman in your life stepping into the role of wife or mother at this time. It's a time for loving energy to be voiced. This card sometimes shows a happy resolution to a difficulty with family, a friend, or a love relationship. The time for peaceful, loving connections is at hand, so open your heart to the expression of caring within and around you. So this person seems to be very romantic in some way. Like, I feel, as I said before, that they are artistic or poetic, so that probably makes them quite dreamy sometimes. They have a romantic side, they have this idealistic side to themselves. They're very beautiful. I think they really don't realise just how beautiful they are, but they seem to be very, very beautiful, very, very attractive, and they seem to be someone who is going to be successful when it comes to love. Like, they are going to find a loving relationship is what I seem to be seeing here. And I know that that was talking about a woman, but I have seen quite a lot of cards to me that would indicate masculine energy as well. So as I said, some of you this will be a male child, some of you this will be a female child, so don't worry too much about that. Then we have Guinevere, True Love. I mean, how similar are these cards in imagery? It says, the romantic stirrings in your heart have propelled the universe to deliver great love to you. So definitely someone who's successful when it comes to love. Definitely a very dreamy, loving, caring person. They just try to spread love and light throughout the planet. They are a light worker. They have been given this divine mission to improve the earth and improve humanity in some way. I feel like they're going to go far and they're going to achieve a lot in life. Then you have Master Buddha, increased awareness, deep connection, trust your inner voice. Wow. I mean, the Buddha card, that's incredible. So yes, this person is a light worker. This person has a lot of spiritual work to do on this planet. I feel like they have a strong connection to spirit just naturally. Like, even as a child, they seem to be guided by things. Definitely angels is something they are really drawn to and really have a strong angelic presence around them. But the Buddha card, they're someone who is very contemplative. You know, they very much care about others, even if they come from a wealthy background, you know, even if they're brought up quite wealthy or cared for, because as we see here, this person seems to be very wealthy and seems to have everything they could want, just like the Buddha was originally. And they really care about others, even though some of them will have had quite privileged backgrounds. They know that that's not the case for everyone, and they want to help others. I feel like they will do a lot for charity. They'll volunteer a lot. They'll donate money when they make money. You know, they really care about other people. Then you have number 3, Between Worlds. So again, this feeling of not quite belonging to this physical world, but not quite belonging in the spirit world either. Like, they have this strong connection. They're able to go between the two worlds quite easily. They might be very intuitive. They might have very vivid dreams. I feel like for some of you, again, this is talking about them coming from a very privileged background, but really wanting to help people who do not have the privileges that they grew up with, people who do not have clean water or a warm home or food to eat or access to education. They really care about this. Some of you also, this indicates that they are going to marry a foreigner, because this person seems to have a mixed background of countries or cultures. Or maybe you will marry someone of your own country or culture, but you end up living in a different country, and so this person has this very mixed background. And then you have number 9, Angel of Providence. As you can see, this angel is giving food to people who need it. So again, I feel this person really does care about charity, wants to volunteer, wants to help out, wants to do things to improve this planet and to improve the lives of people who are suffering and struggling. So this person's very caring. I think even as a child, as they grow older and they start to realize, actually, I don't need all of this stuff, they want to give it to help people. They are very deeply affected by that kind of thing. And I feel like they might hear stories on the news about how children or people are suffering when they themselves are a young child, and they end up like just bursting into tears at the thought of people living in poverty or living in a war zone and all of these things, and they really want to help out and make the world a better place. And then you guys got 2 Mystical Lenormand cards. So you got number 33, Schlüssel, the key, and there's a dragon there, so that does represent fire energy for a lot of these people. Number 33 as well, 2 3s. We've got a lot of repeated numbers in these readings for people, and this is the sun energy as well, so very strong fiery energy. And I said we've got masculine and feminine represented here as well. And then we have another 3, oh my god, 3 and 9 represented twice because it's the 9th house. So 3 3s and 2 9s there. That's crazy. And this is Schiff, the ship. So again, a symbol of travel. This person might travel a lot, but again, I feel like they might be partly foreign to you in some way, or they have a mixture of cultures or a mixture of nationality or ethnicity. Also with the key, this makes me think of this person being very secure, very stable. They again just want everyone to have the stability that they grew up with. They want everyone to be able to live a comfortable life, and they want to create resolution in this world. They want to resolve issues that have been long creating difficulties in this world for people. So this person has a very strong conscience, very strong need socially to improve the world. So I find that just crazy that you've got so many repeated messages here, just like the other piles have as well. And I just can't believe that the toys really matched up to the card piles. That wasn't my intention at all. So I'm going to do your charms and your dice now, guys. So just a quick disclaimer. If you don't like the sound of the charms, or if you're wearing headphones, or if you have the volume turned up really loud, please turn it down while I shuffle, because you might not like it. Okay, so group 3, what will your future child be like? Okay, so what have we got here? We've got the letter D and the letter F. So those could be initials for this person. You might end up giving them a name that either begins with one of those letters or has those letters in there somewhere. Crazily, you've got the steering wheel on the ship charm, the ship card. So this changing tide and this feeling of steering the world towards a better outcome, towards a better place. We've got the treasure map as well. So this person wants to find a better future for this world. I feel like they just have strong goals and they're determined to go after that, whatever it is. You know, they have ambition, they know what they want to do in life, they know what they want from life, and they're just determined to go out there and get it. They don't care what stands in their way, they don't care who tells them not to, they just want to go after that, and they will find what they're seeking because they're so motivated and they have so much power and passion and charm. I can see as well that we've got the word protected, so they're very protected by the spirit world. Really beautiful charm. We've got the movie camera, so some of them will be photographers, movie makers, actors, YouTubers as well, some of them, and it may be just a hobby for them, or it may be something they want to do full time. We've got the cactus there. Again, I get the very Four of Pentacles energy from this charm, like someone who has this force field around them to protect themselves. They don't like talking about their feelings too much because they don't want to be vulnerable, so they try to protect themselves by laughing it off, or by changing the subject, or by shutting people down if they ask about their feelings. You know, everyone deals with it in a different way, so that's what I get from them. We've got the love heart as well, so as I said, very successful when it comes to love and a very loving and caring person. We have the Russian doll, so for some of you this is a clue as to what their other ethnicity or culture is. They are going to be part Russian for some of you, or part Slavic, but I feel like for the rest of you it's also a message, again, similar to the cactus charm, because when I think of the Russian doll, you open them, there's a different one inside. You open them, there's a different one inside. It's like bottling up your feelings, or bottling up how you really feel, and just putting on a brave face to the world, trying to convince the world that everything's fine. So this person's very resilient. As I said, they don't like to talk about what they're going through or anything like that. We've got the musical symbol. Some of them will be very talented musically and just very creative in general. I get a very strong creative vibe from this person. Now, my Father Christmas charm is just being smashed in the tin, as a lot of my wooden charms are, because most of the charms are metal, so they smash the wooden ones. But this is a winter symbol, so they may be born in winter time. We've got the healing symbol, the starfish. They are a healer in many ways. The worry doll, they're a worrier as well. As I said, I feel like they really care about others. They really, if they see that someone's suffering, even if it's on the news, they just can't get it out of their head, and they feel like they need to do something. We've got the divine timing charm as well, which is interesting. So everything works out for this person in the right time. And I feel like they're often in the right place at the right time as well, to get opportunities or to make things happen. So maybe quite a lucky person. We've got the gun. So they may like shooting, like target practice, but I think also the gun talks about negative emotions that we carry around with us, like anger, guilt, resentment, blame, shame, all of those things. And so because it's landed next to the healing charm, I wonder if that's something that will be inside them that they need to heal from and move on from. The gear has come out as well, and when I get the gear, I think of something that's already happening, and it's landed on the Queen of Roses. So you may already be a very beautiful person, or you may already be with the person that you have this child with. You may already have this child. As I said, some of you may have children already, but I feel like the gear is also saying this person's just going to be beautiful from the day they're born. Like, they're not going to be an ugly baby. They're not going to be an ugly toddler or an ugly child or anything like that. They're just going to keep being beautiful, and they just keep blossoming and growing and getting better and better the older and older they get. They mature like fine wine, essentially. Then we've got the shooting star, so a wish come true, a wish is granted. As I said, I feel like they're probably quite lucky, but I think so many people just feel privileged to know this person. So many people just feel like, this person, I don't know what I would do if I didn't know them. I'm so grateful to know them because they're such an amazing person. We've got the key there that's so similar to this key on this card. I think that's incredible. So the key is all about resolutions, solutions to problems and situations. We've got the weight there, which is my burden symbol. So it feels like they, as I said, they can't get things out of their mind, or if they get an idea, they have to do something about it straight away. They can't just let it slide or think, I'll do something about it next week. They're just so self-motivated and so passionate that they have to do something about it. Otherwise it will just torment them. They won't be able to get it out of their head. And then your last charm is the passport charm. So again, another symbol of them being foreign or living in other countries or having a mixture of cultures or countries in their ethnic background. So let's now get your dice on top, see what they have to say. So if you're new to my channel, I roll this 6-sided dice to see which set we use, because I have a few different ones. Okay, number 2, so that's the original dice. They look like this. Okay, and then this 10-sided dice tells us how many we're going to roll, and it landed on 8. So I'm going to roll 8 of these 9 dice for you. I just let one naturally fall out of my hands. Okay, so group 3. What is your future child going to be like? Okay, let's see what we've got here. Okay, so what I can see, first of all, I'm drawn to the light bulb, first of all. Again, I think this person is very creative. I feel like they are quite a deep thinker. They often have really good ideas or really innovative ideas. They think outside the box quite a lot. And we've got the lock there as well, so it's lovely because we've got the lock, but we've also got 2 keys, so there's plenty of time to open this. So I think it just refers to how this person doesn't like to share their feelings or doesn't really like to open up all of the time, and they have this kind of locked energy about them, but they are going to open up as they get older. They are going to learn to feel more confident and comfortable expressing their feelings and kind of being vulnerable around people, because that's the thing. I don't think this person wants to feel vulnerable. They're very concerned with being strong and being resilient and having people respect them, that they don't want to seem vulnerable, or they don't want people to know their weaknesses or the things that make them upset or unhappy. We've got the Tower there. And this is very different from the Tower in the tarot, because this Tower seems very stable to me and very firm. So when I get this Tower, I think of someone who's very resolute and very firm and stands tall and is like this role model in many ways. Like, they're this very strong person that other people call upon. They also love reading, and as I said, I think that some of them may turn out to be writers or poets. That's something that really is important to them. And then we have this arrow that's landed on the Angel of Providence, and it's pointing towards the key. Now, when we get the key in a Lenormand deck, it talks about something being 100% secure, 100% going to happen. So when it's landed on the Angel of Providence, I feel like it's just them wanting to give security and stability to other people, wanting to help other people feel secure when it comes to their material needs, their food, etc. They want people to know that they will always have enough to eat. They want to ensure that that's the case for people. So a really caring and kind person, definitely a light worker. We do have the light bulb and the wings of light there as well. So then we've got the tree. Again, I think of stability, I think of security, growth, nature, standing tall and proud. I think of good health as well, and longevity. This person might have a nice long life and become someone who is very respected and very well liked. Then we have here the person who is afraid of their own shadow. So I think they gain confidence as they grow older, but I think they're always worried because they have a very strong conscience. As we've got the Jiminy Cricket toy, they are very worried about the more negative aspects of their self. It causes them a lot of stress, thinking, am I a bad person because I snapped at that person? Or, I once stole this when I was a kid. Does that make me a terrible person? Or, I once accidentally ran over a slug or stepped on a snail and I'm going to have to atone for that. Like, I think they genuinely think like that. They think I've done bad in the world, and so I need to try and do as much good as possible. I want to help. I want to improve the lives of people because I've done bad as well. So that's what I see from them. And then also the parachute. Again, I think of wanting to kind of get into faraway places, wanting to go to places that no one really gets to normally, wanting to go to places that need help. Because when I see the parachute, I think of like food parcels being sent down. I think of relief workers. I think of charity workers, aid workers, all of those things. Some of them might consider working in the military, but I don't get that very strongly. Like, I think more it's to do with aid and relief and helping people. That's what I'm seeing. So I hope you enjoyed this, group 3. This has been such an incredible reading. I did not expect to enjoy this so much and to find it so interesting and fascinating. So I hope you enjoyed it. I would love it if you would give this video a big thumbs up if you did, and subscribe to my channel as well if you haven't already. Please do leave me a comment below as well and let me know how it resonated with you, what you thought of the video. I do read all the comments and I do try to reply to as many as I can. If you'd like to book a private reading or an angel healing session with me, I have an Etsy page linked in the description box, but please remember to leave your name, email address and your question when you book a reading. And if your question involves someone else, I'll need their name as well to connect to their energy. If you would like to help out the channel in any way, thank you so much for your kindness. I have a Patreon page, as I mentioned earlier, where we offer exclusive content and you can get to know me a little bit better. I also have a PayPal link for tips and donations, and I have an Amazon wish list for new tarot and oracle decks. If anyone's feeling really generous and would like to get a new deck, that would be lovely. Thank you so much to everyone who has donated. It really makes my day whenever I see a notification saying that someone's joined me on Patreon or that someone sent me a little tip or a donation. It really does make my day. Thank you so much to all of you. And please do not feel pressured to donate or to become a patron or anything like that. I only want people to do it if they genuinely want to and if they feel called to and if they have the financial means to do so. So please do not feel pressured in any way to do that. It's only if you want to do it and you're able to that I would want you to do that. But thank you so much if you're still listening. Thank you to everyone who's donated. Thank you to all of you for being here and for sharing your time with me today. Have a lovely rest of your day, you guys, and I'll see you again soon. Bye bye. Take care.